Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and today we're talking about Venom number 27. So, next up in my review of this week's pull is a book I was looking forward to quite a bit after the last issue. We kind of just started picking up Venom as part of this particular new story arc, but for those who haven't been following, Donny Cates has really been bringing a lot of cool changes to Venom. It's started with the reveal that Venom's part of this ancient race, and that led to the big tie-in event thing called Absolute Carnage, which was a lot of fun. And nowadays, Eddie Brock is running around with his son Dylan, who has strange abilities related to the symbiotes that they don't quite understand. So last issue, they sought out the Maker, who is a version of Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe, who's gotten the ultimate version of Venom, that symbiote apparently, and has been modifying it. And then they ended up falling through a portal into what I thought was the Ultimate Universe, all changed and different, but I believe this is a completely different world. And it has quite an interesting effect on Venom, who was freaking out at the end of last issue and still is feeling very weird. That is the alien itself. Neither it nor Eddie Brock quite understands it, and Eddie kind of talks about how that weird that is because the Venom symbiote has all these cool senses, and they take a little bit of time to talk about like Venom's abilities as an alien and stuff, which is pretty cool. They talk about how he can predict weather changes months in advance, feel the presence of danger miles away, sense people are lying, see in the dark, all these things, and yet they have no idea where they are in this new universe. But what's it called? The who was it? Oh yes, Virus is still very much attacking, and they kind of battle in a way that really had me appreciating the artwork of this book. Juan Gideon, I should say, is the artist, and Jesus Berdov does the coloring. Clayton Cowles does the lettering, and especially the artists really bring this action fight scene to life between Venom and Virus. They're in this new city, and you can tell they're just starting trouble as like they create these explosions around them. The stark contrast of like two dark color, like dressed characters, mixed with like powerful abilities, flashy weapons, and bright explosions against like an alternate version of Manhattan at night really worked well for me, and the whole little bit of action is great. But Venom also, the alien, feels changed in this new universe, and he kind of goes quiet because he gets lost in this sea of voices he describes as the hive that he doesn't really know what it is or how to explain it, but it's teaching him things, and he's able to absorb energy from Virus's weaponry and redirect it back at the villain, creating this massive arm cannon out of his own suit and blowing Virus away. So they have no idea what's going on, but suddenly they are approached by a team of Avengers, all wearing, well, they all have Venom's symbol on them, and it soon becomes apparent they all have a symbiote. So that leads to another cool fight scene, however briefly, between the Avengers and Venom, and also Virus kind of gets involved and tries to blow off this version of Captain America's head in an awesome panel, but the rest of the page reveals that Captain America is just able to completely regrow back his head. So these symbiotes are very like powerful and different than what we're used to, and they're all part of some organization called the Hive or something. Dylan and Eddie escape into the sewers where they're approached by these figures to say like, well, they're the only ones who are free from control of the symbiotes within this hive thing. Meanwhile, the Avengers approach this dark figure, who I believe is going to be like this big important threat coming up, but he sees Eddie Brock and is like, I have no idea who that guy is. which is a fun little moment, an interesting way to introduce the villain. But the little shot of him, like with a cocked eyebrow, saying that, I don't know, that really worked for me. Even though, yeah, we're introducing this new threat, like it's kind of a way to humanize him almost instantly. And then one of the figures reveals themselves to be Agent Venom, and Flash is like, "Holy crap!" Like Flash, and the figure, who turns out to be a she, is like, "Well, I'm not the former president of the United States. What are you talking about?" And it's revealed to be Annie, uh, from Eddie Brock's past. Obviously, like an alternate version of her that became a symbiote and is leading some sort of resistance on this alternate universe. So, a lot of interesting stuff going on there. I personally am not like overly invested in the family drama of Eddie Brock that much, but it provides like a good humanizing element that I think works well in other ways. Too, like I said, with the villain being introduced, I really like the action and just the setup of this story. It's fun not only exploring a new alternate universe, which was a cool surprise and is always welcome, but it was a creative and different one. We've even seen other worlds like Spider-Man Reign where the symbiote takes over, but this feels different. It ties into the Donny Cates narrative of Venom surrounding Null and all of that stuff, and on the whole, it promises a lot more interesting stuff going forward with like not only this story arc but the future of this series. I am like, it's very clear they're building up to the next Venom event, but I think this is an interesting way to give us a sense of what kind of threat Venom and the people of 616 Earth are going up against. Uh, and that threat is considerable. It's it's interesting that we would like have this slew of events, or even just like a couple of like the entire Marvel roster going up against symbiotes and that sort of thing. But I feel like they're going to kind of take it in a different direction. And, you know, if you have a big, kind of game changing run with a character like Venom and Donny Cates, and people like Stegman and this art team, I feel you might as well go for it and have some events and make something out of it. And I'm probably going to be echoing similar thoughts when I review some of the House of X, or I guess X of Swords preludes, that we're going to be talking about a little later this week. That being said, I particularly enjoyed this. I'm an easy sell for like cool alternate universes, exploring new ideas, having fun with a character like Virus, who's just a sort of Iron Man suit, all specifically designed to take on a symbiote. That, you know, after all the stuff we've gotten with Venom, it made for a very cool fight with some fun twists along the way because of this new universe and the effects it was having on Venom. I think a curious aspect of this is what it says about this character going forward and what other crazy stuff he might be able to do. And that potential is quite staggeringly high. So I definitely think I would recommend this comic. Let me know what you all think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back shortly to talk about the next comic on my pull list, and that's X-Force number 11, which I also enjoyed. I think Venom really stood out among the next few comics I'm going to be talking about, but just the same, there's still some exciting things on the horizon, and we still got the big event things to talk about too. So stay tuned for all of that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time here on Comic Island.